Welcome to Shom Machshava Nadav, Shir sponsor Lui Nishvas Haim Yaakov Shalom Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding in Basra Daf and Gimel, in the middle of the Agatas of Rabbi Bachano, and we reach now Maamar Hey, the fifth story of Rabbi Bachano. Says the Gemara in Daf and Gimel with base. V'amar Rabbi Bachano, Lididi Chazili, I saw Hayi Akukto, the frog. De'avyo ki hak akro de'agroinyo. It was large as the size of that big city called Akro de'agroinyo. Ve'akro de'agroinyo kamavi. How large is that city? Shitibati, 60 houses. Also tanino balo. Came that snake, the tanin, and swallowed the frog. Also pushkanso is a female raven, ubola tanino, and swallowed that creature. V'solig Yosef Bilon went and sat there on top of a tree. See how great is the strength of the tree, because it's holding the raven which ate the tanin, which ate the frog, which is the size of the city of Akro de'agroinyo. If I wasn't there, I would not believe to this story. So what's the pshat in this Maamar? Again, we have another agata over here that seems to make no sense. So the Vilna Gaon has an explanation in this Maamar. This is based on the last Maamar that he explains in the beginning. There's 5 Maamar that he explains. Then he explains one more later, Maamar Tesvav. And that's all that we have from the Vilna Gaon on these Gemaras. So in this Maamar, Zok the Vilna Gaon as follows. The Tzvardeya, the Akukso, the frog, refers to the Talmidei Chachamim. The same way the frog doesn't stop day and night from making noises, so the Talmidei Chacham is learning day and night. And this is what's brought down in the Sefer HaZoyar, that when David HaMelech was saying to Tehillim, so comes David HaMelech, he said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's anybody else that says more shvach than me? Came the Tzvardeya and told David, why are you so excited? I say that I do smears the whole time. And Ramosha Shapira's Zatzal and Chusiyama goes on to explain in length that when do we refer to Torah as Shira, as we've referred to over here. Continues the Vilna Gaon to explain that this Tzvardeya was the size of the city of Akro de'agroinyo that has 60 houses. What does it mean, 60 houses? Refers to the Shishi Mesechtas of Shas, the 60 Mesechtas that you have and the Shishi Sidrei Mishnah. So what it means is he saw Tzvardeya, that he's Baki B'chol Shas. That's what Vilna Gaon explains. Comes the Tanin, this type of snake, and he swallows this Tzvardeya. So explains the Vilna Gaon, who's that Tanin? The Tanin is the Yetzer Hara that's working against the Talmidei Chacham. So continues the Vilna Gaon to explain. There's 2 basic Yetzer Haras that we're referring to over here. There's one Yetzer Hara that goes against the Amei Haaretz, the people that are not learning Torah. That Yetzer Hara is called the Nochosh, because the Nochosh is going in the land. And Amei Haaretz are an Am Haaretz, they live in the Haaretz. The second Yetzer Hara is the one who goes against the Chachamim. Where is that Yetzer Hara? The Yetzer Hara is in the sea. Because the Chachamim belong to the sea. As we start the Sugya, it says, Nechus Yama, the ones that go to the sea, the Chachamim that are swimming in Yama Talmud. And Ramesh goes on to explain a little bit more. The Yetzer Hara that the Vilna Gaon is referring to is the Yetzer Hara of the Leitzonus. What stands against the seriousness of a Torah and Talmidei Chachamim is Leitzonus. What is able to take away the Torah from a person is the Yetzer Hara of just making fun of things, of not taking things seriously. Comes the Pushkanzo, the raven, and he swallows the Tanin. So explains the Gaon, we're talking about how does Talmidei Chacham mizgaber on this Yetzer Hara? How does overcome the Yetzer Hara tries to stop it from learning Torah with Litzanos? So the way they do it is to use the midah of the Oirev. What is the midah of the Oirev? What does it mean? So explains Ramosha the words of the Vilna Gaon. He says like this. The way that the Talmidei Chacham is able to succeed is by giving up the pleasures and the joy of gashmius, of material needs in this world. By taking away, by overcoming the taivas of the world, he is able to overcome the Yitzhar that tries to stand against him with koyach alitzonos. Someone who's dedicating himself to Torah, like being a chzori korah. Chzori korah refers to that he's willing to dedicate and give up the joys and pleasures of material needs in this world for Torah. So then he will be able to learn Torah and overcome all the challenges of Torah. And what's the result of that? That's what the Vilna Gaon completely concludes this Maamar. What happens with the Chacham is dedicating himself in such a way, he goes and sits on the tree. Right? The Hemshech Maamar is that this raven went and sat on the tree. Look how great the tree is. What's the tree? The tree is the Yisachar Zvulun. The tree is a supporter of Torah. Talmid Chacham was willing to dedicate himself to Torah and willing to give up everything and become a Chzori Koirif. Kosh Baruch Hu mizamen for him to have parnasa bekavod by having a partner who will share with him, will give him all what he needs. And that's the mile of Yisachar Zvulun. You have a Yisachar learning Torah, you have a Zvulun who's supporting him. He is the tree where the Torah is sitting on. What does the Maamar say? Tochazi, come see how strong, how great is the strength of the tree. How much dedication does the Zvulun have to go and support Loim de Torah and not to see any benefit, so to speak? It's very hard to do that. You give money to somebody sitting and learning, you don't really see what the results are until you get to Olam Hamas. That's the godless of the Zvulun who's supporting the Yisachar learning Torah. And brings the Vilna Gaon. That's the pshat. It says in the Gemara in Brochus that Hani bir kederaponon de shali minai havo, meaning there is the sikim cause the knees of Rabbanon to be hurt. What does that mean? He says when the Yitzhar knows that he can't come against the Chacham, he realizes he's not able to overcome. What does he do? He goes against the people that support the Chachamim. He goes against the people that are able to pay for them and say don't pay them anymore. It's a big challenge for a person to be a Zvulun, to support the Talmid Chacham. Come and see how great is the strength of this tree holding Talmid Chacham. Concludes the Maamar and says, Omar Papa Shmuel, if I wasn't there, I would not believe it. Pashtus means, if I wanted to see the bird, I wanted to see the frog, I would not believe the whole story. We know the story based on the Vilna Gaon. It's not literally. What does it mean? So he explains the Vilna Gaon. He says like this: Ilav da'avoy hosef. Not that I was there, meaning where? In Eretz Yisrael. And I saw in Eretz Yisrael the idea of Zvulun. I would not believe there's such a thing as Zvulun in the world. Meaning, explains the Vilna Gaon, in Bava there's no real Zvulun. Ramosha goes on to explain that in Bava there was the Dura Palaga that went to fight to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's less apparent the Gilui HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's much harder for people to support Torah and to connect to the Kedusha of the Torah. So that's the end of the Maamar. We're talking about Zvulun who's supporting Torah. It's not the Pasha at all. It's a great thing. It's so great that one says, and I never saw that in Bavel. I saw it only in Eretz Yisrael. I would not believe there's such a thing in the world, Lulei, that was there in Eretz Yisrael to see it. So to summarize, according to the Vilna Gaon, the pshat in this Maamar is that what fights at Talmid Chacham is the Yitzhar of Litzonus. And to overcome that, the Talmid Chacham has to sacrifice his Gashmias in this world. And that's he's going to overcome the Yitzhar. And when he does that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send him his support in the form of Yisachar Zvulun. And how great is this Zvulun who is supporting Torah? Anyone who wants to join Shom Machshava, email us to WhatsApp, please email shommachshava@gmail.com.